Live League Game of the Day. BlackBoat versus glevine. Sami versus Olaf.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Sami Original Guy, aka Mr. Cannon from Advance Wars by Web, bringing you another Live League Game of the Day. Today, we are on Versi. This is a base light matchup with airport and comm tower support. We have Olaf versus Sami, BlackBoat versus glevine, the divine, as I like to say. Now, base light, pretty standard to see base lights these days over in the Live League. They seem to be popping up more and more often. Now, this map is pretty decent looking, you know. I don't really have any complaints with this map, but we are going to change the armies. We're going to have a standard Blue Moon versus Green Earth. Sami representing the Green Earth of the Orange Star Army for sure. Now, when I take a look at this map, I can see a couple things happening for sure. Now, obviously, the center is a little bit contested, but not really. More likely than not, we have a perfect diagonal here. Most likely, comm tower falling to either side over here. Now, I can see a whole lot of fighting happening in this region and this region over here in the top corner. I don't think the center is going to see too much play, but we could definitely see some play. Now, airport most likely could support over here, but could easily swing up here as well. You never know where those air units are going to go, folks, but we have an interesting matchup, folks. Now, Sami is not really the greatest when it comes to base light due to the heavy amount of vehicles that you tend to see in base light. And Olaf, he's just Olaf, folks. He's just a solid CO all around. So I'm kind of excited to see what's going to go down with this one. This one was submitted to me a couple days ago, so I'm looking forward to it, folks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the Live League today. Beautiful, folks. You know what else is beautiful? Standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. Number 1 priority in Advance Wars by Web. Number 2 priority in Advance Wars by Web. Like and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And if you want a little bit more of me, you know, you can always join my Discord, which is in the description below. You can go there and you can join, and you can come to my Discord server and hang out and shoot the shivity, folks. But in the meantime, we can enjoy ourselves in a nice Live League game, as both players are now going for several neutral properties on the map. Pretty standard chains so far, folks. So as expected in this map, it looks like we are going to have a little push in the corner here. Now, this area right here from Green Earth is definitely going to be able to acquire this. And that's what it's going to look like, folks. And Blue Moon probably going to be able to acquire this, but this property right here I can see being interrupted or falling to Sami right now, folks. So I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here for sure. I think BlackBoat is a little bit slow on the old capture game here, but he's also Olaf. He doesn't quite need as much income as Sami. Sami's main gimmick, you know, you get the income, and then you tech up, and you have a good time. Glevine going for this property down here, which is kind of an interesting move. I guess it's not really too out of the ordinary for him to go for that position, actually. So, judging by the state of the map right now, if glevine was to decide to go for this property right here, we have a clear 2-shot with 2 infantry here. It would not clear the infantry, but it would do massive amounts of damage with this infantry not in position to assist, unfortunately. So this capture right here, there is 1 infantry in position to interrupt on either side right here. That is a very dangerous play to do. Sami is just going to get the property anyways, and you're going to take massive counter damage from the Sami infantry. So, not necessarily advisable to go in for that. I think BlackBoat is going to have to come up with some sort of a different plan here as he rushes the units forward to the north, which definitely is the play, folks. Definitely. Unfortunately, unless you got 2 units, interrupting a Sami capture is not possible. Tank build and mech build over here from Glevine the Divine. Now, mechs, you know, they're probably, I don't think they're actually really all that bad on this map. So you got a pretty quick reinforcement. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3-day reinforcement to the front line here to begin assisting in the battle. So not really too bad. Plus Sami's mechs are very powerful, especially when you get that double time, folks. When you get double time rolling, you're going to be having a great time. Maybe even double the great time. Who knows? Alright, tank going over to the western front now from Glevine. Gonna be able to get the tank infantry combination here. Not going for tank infantry, actually. Going artillery mech once again. So gonna have the mech chains flowing. Now, you never sleep on a Sami mech chain, folks. They are incredibly strong and you have to watch out for it. Going for the comm tower capture here, I think, is a little bit of a mistake because there is that 2-shot availability over here from BlackBoat. And coming from the mech, or not the mech, but attacking with the tank first, definitely the way to do it, folks. Alright, another 2-shot on an infantry, and now BlackBoat is acquiring one of Sami's properties. Bust out the artillery unit. Now, I think artillery are going to be pretty strong in this map, too. Mainly because it is a fairly choke-pointy map here. Well, all this region right here is very choke-pointy. Now, obviously, there's some shoals, which make it a little bit easier to get in over here, folks. But, with the mountain region right here, shoal, or sea tile right here is a very good area for a choke point. Plant an artillery in that spot and you are golden. Now let's see what Glevine manages to do. Unfortunately, lost a few good folks that turn. And I need to click the button. There we go. Alright, captures double property, now up to 12 properties, and the mechs are rolling up. Tank taking a free shot on an infantry, interrupting the comm tower capture. So we're not going to be dealing with a double tower Olaf this game. Thank the good Lord to BlackBoat. He does not want to, or to Sami. Sami does not want to be dealing with double tower Olaf. That is a dangerous game. Alright, attacking the 1 HP infantry, going in for a double attack. Infantry survives with 2 HP. It is going to heal up to 4 next turn. There's going to be multiple attacks available this turn for Glevine. Let's see what he manages to do with this one. Going for the capture, has now acquired the airport. We're going to be seeing some air units rushing in here. Very likely. Very likely. Alright, very, very defensive position over here from Glevine. I like it. Sitting on the city. Artillery blocking the tank. No real threat of attack from Olaf. Now, Olaf can come up and he can do some attacks. The only real attack he's going to be able to do is maybe attacking this infantry from the city tile, bringing another tank forward, but does not have any air units yet. Alright, so day 9 takes that attack, brings the infantry forward, brings the tank forward. Does have the comm tower now, folks, so that is 110% firepower, but not really anything else that he can do at the moment. Alright, Sami going battlecopter, infantry, mech. Alright, there are several mechs on the field now, folks. This is a dangerous game. BlackBoat is going to have a very tough time pushing into mech territory. Gets the interrupt, gets the clear once again. Not too bad of an attack. Now, this will result in tank, artillery, tank hit. So those 2 tanks up north are going to be taking some serious damage. But they don't... Sami doesn't have anything really to back it up. So while she's going to be able to do a pretty good attack, there's no follow-up because the mechs are still a little bit farther away. Now, best course of action right now, I think, would be to bring the battlecopter over here. Now, if we bring the battlecopter over here, that's going to put us in a position where we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can block the comm tower tile. So we can go in for an attack where we double hit this, and then follow up with an attack on the tank. And then if this tank comes up, boom, we can hit it with the battlecopter and get some significant damage here. But we have to deal with the threat of the corner attack down here. 2 artillery, 5 infantry, 2 tanks on the way. The only saving grace right now is that Glevine does not have to worry about Olaf air units, because the airport is still not captured. I don't really like that attack. I don't know. I don't feel that one. I think we got to go artillery into tank, right? How much damage does the artillery do against the tank right now? So 51 to 57%. That'll take the tank down to 4. Oh, so there's no real way to clear it with the tank. Unfortunately, 5 HP tank is not going to be enough to clear that. Now, maybe what we could do instead, artillery into fresh tank. Yeah, we do artillery into fresh tank. We do 63 to 71% damage. Then we 2-hit this guy with the full and the 5. I think that would be our best course of action for doing as much damage as we possibly can. But that throws away a tank. Could have had that tank a little bit lower. That tank could have been sitting at like 3 possibly. But with the battlecopter rushing in, it will be very difficult for BlackBoat to launch an attack here. Now, he could go up, maybe clear 4. But these guys are not going to be able to clear this without getting smacked by a battlecopter. And the mech chain is coming, folks. Only a few short days. And the attack down south is going on, folks. What an absolute push here. I don't necessarily agree with the push. I think we need to hold back. And we need to keep our... Yeah, I think we need to pull back and keep our defenses strong. Because look at this position here. Pulling the infantry forward, attacking the tank, and attacking right there. So this... There's a tank strike right here for one. Then there's an artillery strike right here. There's an artillery strike right here. So that automatically clears all 3 of these infantry. And then you have 1 infantry here to attack mech. Follow up right here. And then maybe even 1 more. Like this could possibly follow up on mech. Tank can just crash into the tank 1 more time. And then that clears 4 units, almost 5. And then with only a mech left over, I think we're going to have a pretty devastating turn. Ooh, BlackBoat definitely seeing the attack. Oh dear. Alright, goes for the capture. Sacrifices the infantry. And then gets a double hit, taking out the tank. Attacking the mech. I guess attacking the mech is okay, but in the grand scheme of things, if we just keep it right here and attack the tank, mech will go forward, but then we get full tank strike afterwards anyways. But, I mean, the mech is the strongest unit in the vicinity, so not necessarily the worst move. Crash the infantry into the mech once again, bringing back the rest of the tanks and busting out an anti-air. That's what you gotta do, folks. Day 11, tank moves in, clears infantry, caps property, clears tank, and now the infantry are rolling in. Another battlecopter coming down south right now, interrupts the capture. That's going to result in the loss of the tank, which I don't think we can really afford right now. So even if Olaf gets that property, I mean, he's got 14. He's got 14,000 anyways. I mean, he would have 15,000 per turn with the property next turn. But 14, he can buy exactly what he needs anyways. All he needs is tank every single day. And then he'll be perfectly fine. Can skip a tank one day, get an infantry, and then boom, get something bigger. But saving grace right now, once again, is that Glevine has more units on the field and has access to air units. 3 battlecopters on the field right now. What is BlackBoat going to do in order to respond to this? Obviously, clear the tank. Get the tank out of here. Big hit on the mech. That's pretty devastating damage. Brings the artillery forward, busts out the anti-air. Those battlecopters are not going to be having a very good time now, folks. Alright, joins the tanks together. Was that what I saw? 2 5 HP tanks joined together. We have a fresh tank. And anti-air moving forward. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff, folks. Day 12 clears infantry from Glevine. Goes for the heals, goes for the interrupt. Is this enough? It's not enough. But we're at least not in range of the anti-air, so that's okay. We're too far forward. Too far forward. We need to pull back. This right here, that is a 2-hit. Depending on where the battlecopter goes now. Battlecopter going south. Another battlecopter right here. I still think this is a little bit too far forward. I would not really want to push this far forward. I don't want BlackBoat to have the attacks. No, he's got an attack here. He's got an attack on this mech. And he's got an attack on the tank. That can be very bad. That can be very devastating. And even though there's a battlecopter and an artillery, we would essentially take out 3 units, eat 2 hits. This battlecopter could swing back north, though. So, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not. We shall find out. We'll find out, folks. Lively things. Alright, clears mech. Sami surrounds the battlecopter, so all it can really do is push back. And attacks the mech. Doesn't go in for the additional attacks, though. Is playing very defensively right now. Ooh. With double time right now, though, we can do some pretty serious damage. No word of a lie, folks. Double time, we clear this tank, which is pretty good with tank or with mech and mech. This guy's cleared. Tank moves right here, attacks tank, and then we could even bring the artillery over here. But in order for the attack to be super effective, this infantry has to get out of there. But I don't really think we're going to see double time this turn. I feel like Glevine is saving his co-power, or super co-power, for the victory march. Saving all that charge for victory march, pulling the units back. Fresh copter attacking, or copter attacking fresh copter. That is going to build a lot of charge, so maybe the goal of this is to get Victory March sooner. Now, if Sami gets Victory March before the Winter Fury, we might have a good time. What is available in the Victory March? So, if we get Victory March, he would get, well, he could clear all these to get the city, but it would not really be a good time. Comm tower and city, that's about all that we can get with Victory March. Charges the Winter Fury. Pops the Victory March. Okay, so we got the Victory March, folks. He's going for it. Caps. And then it's got a free mech hit on the anti-air, and then gets a tank hit. Ooh, savage one-shot. Savage one-shot. Alright, battlecopter mech. Alright, 20 units to 15 units. A little bit ahead in value, but Winter Flippin' Fury takes that all the way down, folks. 63,900 to 64,000. Literally 100 difference in the total values now. But with the attacks that are about to happen, that number is going to dwindle to the bare minimums here. Ooh, yep. Takes out the mech, double attacks the tanks. Another tank on the field. It's pretty much all you need, folks. BlackBoat's on increment also. I wonder where all that time went, folks. That's what you have to wonder sometimes. Sometimes players have so much time banked up, and then all of a sudden it goes down to 0 out of nowhere. Let's just check that again. I had 8 minutes. What? 8 minutes to 2 minutes on this turn. Day 13. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. Too much time. Too much time spent. Manage that time a little bit better. All right, let's get back to where we were. We had just popped a Winter Fury. And now it is Glevine's turn. That is a brave infantry. The bravest infantry in Advanced Wars by Web, folks. That is for sure. Alright. So, did what he could do. But BlackBoat, 69,000 value now. Slightly ahead in unit count. As, once again, going to go down to a net negative. Interesting attack. Follows up with anti-air. So, gets it down to 6. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. If Glevine can charge a double time, it would be a very good time to pop the double time. I'll tell you that much. Ooh, just out of range. Just out of range. Can we get the double time? I think we should pop the double time if we can get it. Now, mainly because he can take this tank out. He can attack the anti-air. Copter can come down and attack tank. I think that wouldn't be too bad. We get a tank hit right here. But we don't really have anything to deal with all this stuff, which is a little bit of a problem. But 3 HP mech double timed into this guy. It'll do a pretty significant amount of damage. Double time we can hit this also, which will definitely slow down the capture game. Maybe allow us to get a few more reinforcements. Let's see what happens. So it goes in for that attack. Follows up. Gets double time. Ooh, attacks that tank. It's okay, but I think if we pop double time there, it would have been good. We can get that. We can injure this more. This tank would take a fresh first shot, which would be nice. And then we could follow it up with an anti-air, so that if battlecopter goes down to attack this tank, we anti-air him. And that would be pretty good. But doesn't go for it. Instead decides to pull back. Clears infantry. Tank moves and attacks mech. That's pretty big. Anti-air moving in. Now we have pretty much nothing to stop the anti-air up north. That is a free anti-air. It's the freest anti-air in Advanced Wars by Web right now. It's going to be able to cause so much havoc, and more units are on the way. 18 to 10. I would say this is probably a done game at this point, folks. Glevine, unfortunately, unable to spot the attack that maybe could have actually prolonged this game for a little bit longer. But whether or not it would have prolonged it long enough, that is another question. But he does bust out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web. The classy medium tank. You got to get them on the field. Apparently that mech didn't want to stay on the field, though. He is a goner, unfortunately. Brings the tanks back out of mech range. Doesn't want to be fighting into that. Day 18 loses a battlecopter. And then the tanks are pushing up. Oh my lord. And unfortunately, that is the end of the game right there, folks. Glevine the Divine has resigned to the BlackBoat. The Bolt Guard creation, folks. Farian infantry and healing units along the way. That was a pretty brutal match. BlackBoat definitely shined in a lot of ways in this map and bust out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars by Web at the very end. So well played indeed. Congratulations, Divine. Played a pretty good game. I think, you know, there was just a couple things. Maybe we could have did them a little bit better. is what it is. Lively things, folks. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now.